Good morning. It's Monday morning and first thing, a grocery order. If you're new here, I'm Val at Our Forever Farm and we're getting in a grocery order. As soon as we get all these groceries put up and then get our morning started just a little bit, then we're going to have a whole day of cooking. I'm so excited you're here with me. And yes, I'm actually drinking coffee. Now I drink a Coke afterwards, but this is the only way I can drink coffee. And it's actually really, really good the way I fix it. So we usually start our day out on the porch if it's not too hot or if it's not too cold. Today's a really nice day. It's real comfortable. And so it feels good to just sit and relax a few minutes before we start our work. Sweet Hunter's usually mowing, and I usually go and work in the garden, which I absolutely love. Look at this bird. I'm sorry I'm showing it through the rails, but I'm just sitting here and I thought, oh, they're wanting water. It's so precious. I hadn't even turned my fountain on yet. And the hummingbirds, they're just everywhere. Just everywhere. This time of year, they're headed somewhere, kind of like us. They're just passing through. I had someone tell me the other day, I don't know if I would want to do a garden. It's so much work. You actually sweat, don't you? Yes, you do. But you know, we are made to work. And if it's something that gives you joy, these sunflowers give me joy. My vegetables give me joy. My birds give me joy. Sitting on the porch with Sweet Hunter gives me joy. And of course, you know I love my chickens and I love to cook. It gives me joy. If there's anything I could encourage you on, find something that gives you joy. The little things are the big things. I promise you. I know. Take it from me. See, for me, when I'm out in the garden, I see God. I feel God. I'm with God. He's everywhere. Picking figs and getting more than you did last year, that might not float your boat, but it makes me happy. It gives me joy. Every morning when I wake up, when I open my eyes, I just say, thank you, Jesus. Eating figs may look like a simple thing to you, but some days I can't eat. I'm so thankful for today. Watering my garden, that's a story in itself. Watering my flowers, that was my best friend's favorite thing to do. For those of you that don't know, we lost her in 2019. Both of us were diagnosed with cancer right about the same time. I miss her a lot, but it's a privilege and honor to water my flowers. It's a privilege to be able to do that. It's a privilege to sit on the porch with my Sweet Hunter. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I get comments and messages all the time. I have people tell me the things I do wrong. I'm human. I'm just like you, you know? But I remember a time when I couldn't walk to my chicken yard. I would come out my back door and I would try to walk. I would get just a few feet off my porch. That's as far as I could go because I was so sick and nobody knew what was wrong. That was before my diagnosis. And here I can walk every day. I can work every day. I can go see my chickens every day. I just thank the Lord every day. Today is a gift.
Something? Do y'all want out? Do you want out? Good morning, Sam. Okay, Okay, girls, have a good day. Have a good day. Y'all have a good day.
Can you tell this gives me joy? I mean, if you know, you know. Now we're headed to the kitchen. We're gonna cook. So I'm gonna use my big 17-inch iron skillet. Are having guests for supper, not company, just guests, family actually, and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And I first said I was gonna cook enchiladas, but Henry had Mexican yesterday. I had Mexican yesterday, so I've changed it to a pork roast. So that's what we're gonna fix today. I've got the smoker going. Sweet Hunter helped me get it on. We're gonna smoke this for a while and then we're gonna cook it for a while, really slow, all day. So the first thing I'm gonna do is turn my eye on and get this really, really hot. This pan, I'm just gonna sear it. I'd give anything if I could smoke in this pan, but it's a small smoker and it won't work. I'll have to put it in something else to smoke it. So this is a Boston butt or a pork shoulder roast, and I had to buy our pork that we had in the freezer. We don't have any more roast left, so I had to actually buy it from the grocery store. And yes, that came out of my pantry challenge, and I believe it was about $18, and which I thought was a really good deal because it's a big piece of meat. And what I'm doing here is I'm just looking it over. I got bone in. Bone in gives you the most flavor in any meat. So what I want to do is I want to cut this into like 3 pieces, and I also want to cut any big chunks of fat off. I want to leave a lot of fat because that's what flavors the meat, but I do want to cut these because I'm fixing to sear them in that big iron skillet I have. Isn't this beautiful though? It's a beautiful piece of meat. But you can see I'm just cutting the meat into pieces. Any small pieces, I'm going to cut them off and I'll freeze them. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to smoke it or not. I may smoke it and then cool it and freeze it for pinto beans later on. That would be really, really good. Also the bone, I'll save it for beans, white beans or pinto beans. I'll just put it in the freezer. I don't waste anything. But that fat, I'm telling you, it will be delicious in beans. So as you can see, I'm just cutting off any chunks of fat I can find, any small pieces that are hanging off. I want them in the bean pot, what I'm going to use for my pinto beans. And it's a real simple thing to do. It's a lot of meat. This will probably make 3 meals for us. We could do pork tacos. We could do pork sandwiches, which I'm giving that choice tonight, or a pork plate. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. You can also freeze it and have it another night. That's what we're doing. See that big old chunk of fat? Fat is good. It's just I don't want too much of it on my meat. You can use any spices you want. All I'm using is coarse salt, rubbing it in, and fresh ground pepper. This is the big piece, and I'm putting it salt and pepper side down. The smallest piece. So all we're doing here, we're not cooking them, we're searing them. Now I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper this side while we've got them face down. You don't want to move these probably for about 5 minutes. We want them good and brown. So I decided to go ahead and salt and pepper these little pieces. A lot of it's fat. And I'm going to smoke it too and just watch them really close because they'll come out sooner than the big pieces. So we want to sear this too. This is going to be delicious. So I'm cooking mine in different layers, different ways. You can cook this in the oven, a crock pot, on a grill, a smoker. Very simple. So let's look and see what this middle one will be the piece that is seared first, and it's not quite brown enough. Just leave it on there. The rest of them this is a small eye, so I have to move them toward the middle. So let's leave them on there. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Our smoker's ready. So I know these little pieces They're not as brown as I want, but they are cooking because they're smaller. We're going to go ahead and turn them over so I can get them up. Looks pretty. Let's go ahead and turn this over. Again, it will cook more in the smoker. Let's see what this one looks like. So you don't want them too brown, but you want to get good stuff in the bottom of this pan. If we can get this. I should have got Sweet Hunter's big, see, pretty brown. Let's turn them over and just turn this piece of fat over. Don't want to waste anything. We'll let these cook another 5 minutes. So honestly, I'm going to go ahead and get these smaller pieces out, put them in this pan right here. That's where I'll cook them because they're not going to take as long. And it's just the smaller pieces I'm going to save for the beans later on. And we're going to move these around. Here's another piece. Oh, they smell so good. You can see on the sides they're still red. I'm going to turn them on the sides too in a minute. I want to get them all seared. So this may seem like a lot of trouble to somebody, but you talk about good when you do this. I'm going to turn that up on its end. I'm going to try to turn this one up on its end. And this one up on its end. Let's see if we can get them all piled in here together. And then move this pan toward the middle, where the hot spot is. I'm just trying to sear them on all sides. I'm not trying to cook them. And turn that eye off, and I'm going to start pulling my meat. So these two may fit in this one, and I think it might. Look at that. All right, got those in. And let's put this one. Let's put this one in here. Yeah, seared on all sides. This is the one with the bone in. So I've got my eye off, but I want to show you all the goodness that's in here, and we're going to use that later. And we're going to use that on the meat when we bring it back in to cook it low and slow. I've got the eye turned off and we're headed outside. I'm not sure I can do this all in one whack, but we're going to try. Sweet Hunter's out mowing again. Got the little pieces. Okay, I hope y'all can see this. This is hot. And so I'm going to put the smaller pieces that's for the beans later on. I'm going to put them on the top. I have to look and see what he's got that set on. These are the two medium-sized pieces. And here is the big boy with the bone. Sweet Hunter is normally the one that does this, but he's out working, and so I'm going to get a little pan of water and put in the bottom. So this is for nothing but to keep moisture in there. It's a little pan we use in our grills and our smokers. Whoops. The good thing is it won't matter. It won't matter if you spill it. All right. This is on 300, and I kind of think it needs to stay there. What do y'all think? It's going up. I don't know what he's got it set at. Let's see. He has it at medium high. I'm probably gonna let it stay at 350 or so for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, just to get that smoke taste, and we'll look at it. I'm gonna go start fixing the other fixings. So the roasts are all out in the smoker, and see all this goodness, all this stuff from where we seared the roast. We want to scrape that off the pan and get it going in this broth. Now all that won't come off until you put some water or broth. You don't have to put broth, you can put water. And we're just gonna let that boil a little bit, and we're just gonna scrape our pan. Get all this goodness out. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this broth in here because I can baste my meat when I put it in. But I want to get this big pan. I've got something else to do in it, so I want to get it empty. Y'all forgive my kitchen. I had a grocery order this morning. It's all sitting out, and that's the way it's gonna be for just a little while. My girls, if they come over and I don't have paper plates or paper cups, they literally will go buy them. So I did add that to my grocery order. I do not add that into my pantry challenge amount. Any non-food items don't count. So I'm doing really well on my pantry challenge. I don't know if we're gonna get to sit down and go over it or not, but I will try to give you a summary update when I can on these cooking videos. What we're doing here is we are making baked beans, and we're making them, I'm just using the canned pork and beans. I love to use the dry navy beans, but I'm gonna can some of those. But right now, just for quick sake, we're gonna just use pork and beans out of the can. And so I've chopped up an onion. I'm gonna put some olive oil in the pan, and I'm gonna saute my onions real quick. I poured the broth from the pork roast into here. I'm gonna set it aside. So I didn't wash this pan yet. This is my 17-inch pan because I'm going to brown some ground beef and get my onions sauteed in here. And I didn't want to mess up another pan. And yes, I know somebody's going to say, Sweet Hunter don't like onions. Well, he doesn't. But he eats them all the time. And I'm going to saute these up. And they're going to be cooked so good that I don't think anybody will even know they're in there. These up, saute them up. Didn't want to dirty another pan. So this is our meat from our beef that we killed, and it barely has any grease in it. I had planned to cook hamburgers, so I had these laid out, but I changed my mind because I wanted to cook these roasts, and women can change their mind, right? So a lot of people have that meat thingy thing. I just use this, and it works out really good. Last minute decision is I'm adding some bell pepper in here. And I should have done that when I sauteed the onions, but it will still be delicious, and it still will be sauteed. It'll just be sauteed with the meat. Chopped up a whole bell pepper out of my garden. Thing I'm going to add is the W sauce, and the original recipe says to add a couple of tablespoons, but I'm going to add more than that because I added 2 pounds of meat instead of 1. Not even sure what the recipe calls for, if it calls for 1 or 2. Either way, we're going to have it tasting good, and then we're going to cook all that down, mashing our meat as we go. Our meat is done. I just want to get those peppers and onions really cooked in this. And you can see it brought the temperature down again. And we're just going to keep stirring it. Next, we're adding yellow mustard. And like I say, I'm adding more than the recipe will say. And it also probably tells you not to cook it with all this too. But I like to cook it in my meat. I like for everything to just marry together. And I may add some more mustard when I see what that tastes like. So just prepared mustard's what we're adding in. While that's cooking, I love to add smoked paprika. And so I'm adding just a little bit of smoked paprika to our meat. Here comes the good stuff. Brown sugar. And we're going to put it in here and caramelize it with this onions and meat mixture. It's going to be good. It's going to help caramelize those onions too. I'm going to add probably a cup to this, but like I say, go by the recipe. Brown sugar. I actually like dark brown sugar, but don't have any. Stir it all up and get it to caramelize. You can see it happening. Now that the meat and the sugar has caramelized, I'm adding just a little bit of ketchup. And I like to put that right in the middle and let it just kind of roast in there, just like I do my tomato sauce. I like to let it roast. And then we'll marry it all together. It's going to all come together anyway, the brown sugar and the liquids. But if you roast anything tomato, it's so much better. Feel like that's roasted, then you can start adding in the rest of your meat and your brown sugar mixture. That's also going to caramelize because it has sugar in it, as you all know. Next, we're just going to add pork and beans. You can add Alfred, you can add, if you don't add all the brown sugar in here like I did, you can just buy baked beans that's already cooked and do all the other stuff. But these are delicious. So I'm adding 4 cans, and remember they have juice in them too, like tomato juice. Now I'm just going to mix all this up in the pan and marry all the meat and all the spices together, all the brown sugar. Marry that with our baked beans. Then we're going to put it in a baking dish and we'll bake it in the oven. We've done all the hard work. And you can see that's cooled the temperature down. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to go check my roast out on the smoker. So let's go see how the roasts are doing. It's still smoking a little bit. It's set to about close to 400. And, oh yeah. You probably can't see it good, but they're doing really, really good. That's just the little pieces. It's about time to bring them in. Now you can see that the liquid is cooking out of this, and I don't want all the liquid to cook out of this. I'm going to taste of this to give it a taste test, and then we're going to bake it. I'm just going to get a little bit of this and blow it, because I know it's hot. So good. There's only one thing it needs. I forgot it. It needs a pinch of salt. Maybe 2 pinches. So this is exactly like I want it. I'm going to find a baking dish. It'll be delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a real pretty baking dish for tonight. I think what I might do is put it all in here if it'll fit, and then whatever we have left over, it will be ready to freeze.
we'll see how it works out.
Most of the time, everybody's just so busy. We just meet at a restaurant and eat there. But I thought, wow, why don't we just sit down at a table in one of our homes and cook a home cooked meal?
I'm gonna finish this up. It's just about full. So a lot of people don't do this, but I'm making the ultimate baked beans. So I want to add bacon, and I want the bacon fat to be down in the beans. That's what makes it good. The brown sugar, the onions, the fat, and I want them to cook on it. So although everything's cooked here, I want to make it even better. So this is something you can prepare way ahead. If you want to cook your bacon before you put it on it and pour your grease in it, you can also do that. I'm only putting 4 pieces on there. This is a huge, it doesn't look it, but it's huge thing of baked beans. Now, this is not going to cook right now. It won't take long for this to cook, and I want it to be ready when my guests get here, and I want that bacon the grease to just be down in it. You know, it's funny, used to everybody's like, stay away from meat, stay away from grease, stay away from this, stay away from that. Now they're like, give me tallow, give me bacon grease. It's crazy. We need to eat like our grandparents used to eat. That's how we need to eat. This is ready. I'm gonna set it aside here, and it's gonna be beautiful, I'm telling you. So I'm going to get our meat out of the smoker, and I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and it's right at 12 o'clock, and we probably won't eat till 4:30 or 5, if that. And so it's gonna be able, those pork roasts are gonna be able to cook all afternoon, real slow. So I think I'll turn it up to 450. Let me do that. Let it cook on high for just a few minutes, and then we'll turn it down to cook low and slow. And we want it almost fall apart or sliceable for sandwiches or a barbecue plate, however anybody wants to fix it. Now I'm going out to get the roast in. It's gonna be a hassle, me coming back and forth, so I'm gonna bring it all in and put it right here on the cutting board and let you see what I do with it. So this is the small pieces I'm gonna save for pinto beans one day. I got these at the same time. So this is the 2 small mediums that I cut, and this is the one that's got the bone in. I want that bone in all this meat. Bone in. This is the 2 that I cut off the bone in. And see, they've made their own juices too. It's gonna be delicious. This I'll freeze for pinto beans. I'll chop it up really good. It's gonna be delicious. It's done. It's ready. It's smoked. This is the bone in. Well, I wanted to turn it around where y'all could see it, and the pan just turned around. That's great. This is just one of the side pieces off that bone in, and another piece. Now all this broth is warm, and I'm gonna take, here's a couple of little pieces in where the bone in is. I'm gonna put it in that bean part, and we're just gonna scrape all this goodness out of the pans and let these pans cool. Get it baste my meat. Just baste it really good with this warm broth. Aren't they beautiful? I think they're beautiful. And the beans, oh my goodness, you know, what can I say?
So after I baste the roast with the warm broth, I used beef broth, some I had canned, then I cover my roast really tight, really well with aluminum foil. I don't want to have any steam coming out if I can help it. And I just do it as tight as I can. And then I place it in the oven.
All right, this is almost to 450. We're gonna leave it in there for 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, we will turn the temperature down to probably 300. The pork roast have been in the oven at 450 for about 30 minutes. Okay, remember, we seared them in the iron skillet on all sides. I cut them into 3 or really 4 big pieces. We ended up with 3 pieces, and then this, and it's delicious. The small pieces cooked in the smoker. So then after we seared them, we took it all to the smoker in baking dishes, and we smoked it for about probably 2 to 3 hours. And then I brought it back in. I put it in the broth, put the roast in the broth that we had cooked in the iron skillet and scraped all the goodness off the pan. I put it back in there. I turned the oven on to 450, and we're cooking it for 30 minutes. I'm gonna bring it out now. And yes, I cooked it high, and I cooked it covered, and we will continue to do that. Let me get y'all where y'all can see this. Looks so good. These are gonna cook all afternoon, but we're gonna do something special to them first. So let me get a spoon. This will probably be my last time basting these while they're cooking low and slow. But I just want to baste them really good. And then we're going to turn the oven down to probably 300. We're going to cook these low. If this pan right here would fit in my smoker, I would take this right back out the smoker and just let it cook all afternoon. All right, now this is optional, but I love to tenderize meat with Coke. So that's what we're doing. We're going to pour this Coke over each of the roasts very slowly. And it just tenderizes meat so good. So I'm not flipping them. I'm not doing anything like that. But I'm using a small mini can Coke just to tenderize that. Now the temperature has went down. And we're just going to baste these again, because this will probably be our last time basting these this afternoon. We're going to cover these back up, and we're going to cover them very tight. Again, we want that broth and that Coke, we want all that to stay in there. Goodness, this is going to be good. And I want to get this as tight as I can. And it's hot, let me assure you. But I don't want that leaking out, anything leaking out. So this is how we're gonna cook it. I'm gonna put it back in the oven, turn the oven down to 300. I was smart, I went ahead and opened my oven. I've got it down to 300. We've got our beans done. We've got our roast cooking in the oven, and they've cooked several different times and different ways with different things. Our baked beans will go in the last probably 30 minutes, and I'll turn it back up to 400 while we're shredding our meat. Next, we're gonna make slaw. Simple slaw. Anybody can do this. So most of you know how to make slaw. This is a Ninja. I do not know the model number. Let me see if I see it. I have had people ask me for that. The model number is C2680W. And I love my Ninja. My husband bought it for me years ago, and it's been a great one. It's a blender, it's a chopper, it's anything you want it to be. So let's get this slaw chopped up. This is the way Sweet Hunter's granny chopped her cabbage, but her and her daughter, my Sweet Hunter's mother, they chopped it with a big knife, slowly but surely chopped it. And my kids don't like slaw any other way. Well, this Ninja chops it just like that. I don't have to do it slowly and surely with a big old knife. I do it quickly.
So we start out by washing our cabbage and removing the outer leaves. And then we cut the end off or core your cabbage, however you want to do it. And then I help my food processor out a little bit by chopping up the cabbage, you know, in smaller pieces. I won't use this whole cabbage, but I'll just fill up this Ninja and then turn it on and get it done.
This is all digital. You just smash that. And I'm wanting it to chop. It's got pulse, low, high, puree, dough, and dips and chop. So basically, this just does it for you. So I just take the blade out. You can put anything you want in your slaw, but look at that. See how it's chopped it all up? It's perfect. Pour it in the bowl, and it's perfectly chopped. If there are any big pieces or a leaf, just take it out or re-chop it. I usually run mine through twice. I don't know if I videoed that or not.
So here we're just cutting some tomatoes out of the garden. We're just cutting them in half and cutting the stems off, and we're going to add those. This is probably the end of the tomatoes. I've got enough picked for a pasta salad that I'm going to do another day. And that's probably about it until our other tomatoes come back in. So tomatoes are just small tomatoes. A lot of people call them cherry tomatoes.
Like I say, you can put onions in your slaw. You can put carrots in your slaw. You can put anything you want. But today, this is all I'm putting. This and homemade mayonnaise and salt and pepper. Okay. Well, there's a stem. That off. So I'm hoping this is going to be enough mayonnaise. This is all I've got made, but I can make some more because there's nothing like homemade mayonnaise in slaw. To me, there's nothing like homemade mayonnaise, period. So I'm just going to start adding my mayonnaise to this. You don't want it too wet. You don't want it too dry. You just want to add a little at a time. The good thing about slaw is you can put it right in the refrigerator and it'll be good when you serve your meal tonight. And I mean, it's just a feel thing. You just have to feel how much you like in your slaw. I like pretty much a lot of mayonnaise. We about used it up. That means tomorrow we'll be making mayonnaise. And then I'll just pour my tomatoes in there and just stir them in. And this is the easy part, just salt and pepper. And you can just do that to taste. I've got a couple of bell peppers. I thought about putting them in there, but I've also got them in the beans, so I thought, nah, this will be good. And here, I just put it in a container. Hope this is big enough. Oops. And you want your slaw to chill. It just tastes better if it's chilled for several hours. So this will have a good opportunity to chill. There it is, slaw with tomatoes in it. You really can't see the tomatoes, can you? But I'm gonna taste test this just to see if it has enough salt and pepper in it. And it's very good, but y'all know me, I love salt. So we're gonna add some more salt. I'm gonna just shake it. I can't see that salt coming out, so I put my hand under there. Let me get another spoon. And I'm just gonna, it's on the top, so we'll just move it around. And I think that will be it. There you go, slaw. Easy Slaw. This is exactly what we want the meat to look like. So I'm going to take it out. You see the broth and the Coke has caramelized in the bottom. So this is fall apart ready. Let's see if we can get it out. Yum. I had it cooking low and slow until all of that caramelized in the bottom of the pan. So here's our meat. Let's look at it from a different view. Cooked all day. Really good to let this sit, but look at this, it's fall apart tender. And you can just take 2 forks and just pull it apart. Now the bone is on this one. We'll get it out. Get all the meat off of it and set it aside. And then we just want to mash all this up. I'm telling you, this is going to be delicious, especially with that homemade barbecue sauce. And I didn't get a chance to show y'all on this video the homemade barbecue sauce, but I'll try to do a separate video showing you exactly how I did that. Doesn't that look good? Fall apart tender.
I'm just telling you, it's gonna be good.
In the meantime, I made potato salad, potatoes, eggs, sweet pickles, and smoked paprika on top. Here's our baked beans. It's the ultimate baked beans. I can't wait to hear what Sweet Hunter says about it. This is our Boston butt, our pork shoulder that's cooked all day long, and you were with me during that. In the meantime, I made some quick potato salad, and you helped me make the slaw. Here is our sauce that we made, and I will do that on a separate video. It's a Sweet Baby Ray's copycat sauce, and I'll serve that separate in case anybody just wants to eat the meat like it is. I'll serve this separate. I also have hamburger buns. They can eat a sandwich with chips, or they can eat a pork plate. And we have strawberry cake. Put that video on yesterday. Go watch it. I'll link it in the description box. And we really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for spending the day with me. It's been fun. Y'all, go cook something.
Supper's ready.